Hello to all of my peeps. It's so good to see you here today for my chair special edition, episode 2. Episode 2. So excited to have my bestie again with us. She started a lesson last week. If you haven't heard that, you need to go back and listen to that because she's going to continue the lesson from last week. And I won't belabor it. I won't do the whole intro that we did last week. I'm just going to give it to you. Tell us our title. What are we studying?
All right, we're talking about when God's plans do not match my own.
Okay, when God's plans do not match my plans. Oh my goodness, it was so good last week. You have got to listen to it. The whole thing, she does a ladies' Bible study once a month on Monday nights. I just loved them, and I wanted to share them with you, with my peeps. They're so rich and so sweet and so special. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's jump in. Let's jump in for our special edition episode number 2. All right, take it away.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much for giving me the privilege of being able to teach. Like I said, I listen to her lessons, and so I'm honored that I get to sit here and teach. She's an amazing teacher. In fact, I'm humbled to get to sit by her and teach this to you. But I pray that God will use it.
Yes.
All right, last week we talked about when God's plans are different than my own. You know what? That can be small, tiny plans, medium plans, large plans. It doesn't matter. You know, sometimes it takes one thing in the morning to ruin your day. And it shouldn't ruin our day. But, you know, it's just as simple as, you know, the pet ran away or whatever, to getting that, you know, maybe a phone call. You know, the teacher, I know we have a lot of teachers that watch this.
We do.
Phone call from a parent or, you know, or just a phone call from a family member. Something, you know, a diagnosis didn't go the way we wanted. Maybe, you know, you found out your husband lost a job or something, you know, something is not, you know, something's going awry in the church or something. And sometimes we get to this, okay, God, what are you doing? Why? Why does God change our plans? Well, we said last week, just to recap super fast, because again, go back and watch that. I don't want to take up too much time there. But God sees from the highest perspective. And also, He wants to keep us close to Him. He's got that. Sometimes, I remember the illustration my father would tell. Sometimes, you know, your dad's holding on to you when you're a little bitty thing, and sometimes he kind of lets you slip, and you hold tight.
Yeah, that's true. That's
well,
good.
Sometimes God's got to let you slip just a hair, so you will hold tight to Him. You will hold tight. But then remember, our actions do have consequences. If your plans are not going the way you should, check it out. Your own personal, we talked about, not anyone else. But check it out. What is going on? What's happening in my heart? Is there anything between me and the Lord? Anything I need to fix? Again, that's a personal. I'm looking at myself, not other people. I'm not judging why their plans are not going right, but I'm looking at myself. Well, there's one more thing. Why do God's plans not match my own? And you know, there's this amazing thing. God is proving His power in our lives.
That's good.
If you'll turn to Job chapter 1, if you've got your Bible. Some of you, I know you're like me. You're listening on the way to work or those things like that. But in Job chapter 1, God wants to prove His power in our lives. And you know what? Miracles, let me add a little parentheses there. Miracles we can see sometimes only come with a desperate need. And if God doesn't set up that desperate need, we're not going to get to see a miracle. We're not going to get to see Him work. If everything's going smoothly, there is no miracle to us. Although if everything's going smoothly, that's a miracle. That is a good thing.
True.
But sometimes we don't see it. And so in Job chapter 1 and verse 8 through 12, and I won't read all of that to you, but the Lord comes down to, Lord and Satan are conversing, and the Lord is bragging on Job to Satan. And I often thought, man, can God brag on me to Satan?
Wow.
And because He knows how I'm going to handle when my plans don't go the way they're supposed to. You know, and He knew He would do it. And Satan comes back in verse 9 to Job, fear God for naught. Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Satan tells God, he's like, of course Job trusts you. You haven't changed his plans. And he says, oh, okay. Well, now God, of course, in His wisdom, He says, but put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord consented. You know what? Sometimes God says, okay, Satan, take your best shot. But sometimes He does it because He knows He can trust our spirit.
Wow.
He knows He can trust. And sometimes I get so convicted. Oh, Lord, did you assign this because you knew I would be a good testimony in this? Or to sometimes I don't get some of my plans changed because he knew I wouldn't handle it well. Well, hopefully I'll learn to handle it. But if you look on down to verse 22, Job 1:22, in all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. And you know what I wrote down in my all this, all these plan changing, all things not going where I don't want them to go. Don't sin. Don't blame God. Don't blame him. Don't get upset, go ugly with, oh, it's all God's fault. Well, no. He's got a plan.
Wow.
He's got a thing, and he wants to show you something. I've said over, don't waste a trial. Don't waste one.
Yeah.
You can grow, you can learn, you can help others, something. Don't waste it. If a plan has changed, even a tiny one, the train cuts you off on the way to work, and now it's going to be late. Don't waste it. There's something there God can do. You know what? You're sitting at that train track. Pray. Somebody needs your prayers. Something. You're sitting in a traffic jam for an hour or two. Something you can do. Don't waste it. Don't waste a trial. Watch God work and get ready. Because when that plan changes, it just means that there's a big plan. There's a trial that God's about to miraculously change for us. So then the question comes in: how do I handle these different plans? What do I do? Okay, we got it. We understand why, but how? How do I handle these plans? Well, the very first one I love. Did you know disappointment is not a sin? It's not a sin. Now, how I handle it could turn into a sin. Because sometimes I get disappointed and then I start getting doubtful and I get discouraged and it keeps going. But disappointment in and of itself is not a sin. Those tears you shed, granted, there's a time and place for them, because sometimes there's certain people that don't need to see my tears. Sometimes my children don't need to see the tears. They need to see mom say, you know what, God's going to handle this. Then I go to the bedroom and I cry. Okay, God, I know you're going to do it. But, so no, there is a time and a place for it, but sometimes some people don't need to see it.
Right.
But you know what? I love this. God can handle your questions. He can handle it. He's okay with it. He's okay with you going to him and just saying, okay, I don't get it, Lord. As long as you don't doubt him. I don't get it, Lord. Just help me. Give me something. Give me something. There comes a point in our lives sometimes where Lord, just give me something. And you know what? I have this wonderful feeling that my Heavenly Father is not going, no. No, he's not going to say that. He's like, I got something. I got something for you. Hang in there. I got something for you.
Wow.
You know what? Take it to him. Take it to him. Lord, in 2 Kings 19:14, a wonderful passage. I love what this widow woman, she took it to God. She took it to him. She took her problems to him. Ask him for his mercy and his grace. Lord, okay, you know what? This trial, this change of plans is a little much right now. Can I have your mercy? Can I have your grace? And sometimes he gives it. He's like, okay, hang on, I've got it. But be careful. He may not answer right away. He may not change it back right away. Be content. Be content. Be willing to wait. Be still and know that I am God. It's okay. It's okay to have those questions. Take it to him. But in doing so, be careful it's not complaining. Take it to him. Ask all the questions you need to ask. Don't gripe at God. He doesn't want us to complain. And there's a reason why. He tells us not to complain. If you'll let me get over there to Psalm 77, verse 3. There's a reason why we can't complain. Questions are okay. Questions are okay. But Psalm 77:3, I remembered God and was troubled. I complained and my spirit was overwhelmed.
Wow.
Okay. So be careful. Be very careful. We don't like disappointment. No, we don't. It's okay to be disappointed. You're not sinning just because you're disappointed. Sometimes I think we get this idea, especially as pastors' wives, we must always smile and cheer and, I'm so thankful that you were diagnosed with cancer. No, sometimes it's okay to be disappointed. You know what? I didn't want this. But be careful, because that disappointment leads to doubt, which then gets into discouragement, gets into depression, despair, and then death.
Yeah.
Be careful. Be careful of that. Give God the ultimate control. Put it in his hands. Lord, I'm disappointed. I'm not sure what to do with this, but it's yours.
Wow.
Do with what you want to do with it, Lord. And then accept his will. Accept it. You know what? I know you don't. You have my best interest in heart. He always does. He always wants the best for me. And then look what he's doing in my life. Try to, even if you can't see the big picture yet. You know what? Sometimes I don't know. Have no idea why, I lost a child, or I have no idea why this had to change. Big, big changes. I don't know. But I do know that he's doing something.
Yeah.
So sometimes I like to look for the little somethings. And I don't know the big ones yet. I probably got to get to heaven and find out the big ones. But I know there's some little things. And I start seeing little pieces come together. I see where I can help somebody that's going through something that I went through. Oh, I've been there, honey. I've been there.
Wow.
I've seen that change. Let me help you with this. Already in my life, and you as well, as you go through and you start seeing these changes that God makes, think back to the early ones, not the one you're in right now. Okay, the one you're in right now is too close.
Yeah.
It's way too close. But look back a few years. Think about some of those big ones he changed a long time ago, and look and see. Sit down, journal it. When you're going through a trial, I love to journal, journal, because you can go back, read that journal, and go, oh, look what God did. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this. Look what God has done. So look for the big picture, even though you can't see everything yet. Look for the big picture, and just then rest. Rest in His truth. He's going to work this out for my good, His glory. May not be the way I wanted, but it'll be my good and His glory. So wow, some things to think about super fast, recapping that. You know what, disappointment's not a sin.
Right.
Take it to Him. Ask Him for His mercy and grace, but be content with, and don't complain. Be careful. Even, we call it venting, and that's a good, sometimes you do got to get some stuff off your chest, but be careful in that venting, because that venting turns into complaining. And it'll overwhelm your spirit.
Wow.
And if you don't go to the right friend with that complaining, that friend doesn't help you direct it back to God, then the both of you are discouraged and depressed. So be really careful with that. But join us next time, because I've got one more thought of some lies versus truths when it comes to those plans being changed. And it's probably my favorite. It's my favorite part of the whole thing. I love all of it.
I love it.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Yeah, you know what? God can handle me. I love that. God can handle me. He can handle all of that.
Not many people can, but God can.
God can. Oh, thank you so much. Goodness gracious. Don't waste your trial. God can handle you. Give it to Him. Give it to the Lord. I love that. Thank you. Yeah, next week, part 3. You got to be here. Don't forget Lydia at 11 in her journey to remain cancer-free. Now go be amazing today.